This is the Preppers Bunker Outdoors. We're here with Greg from Medford Knife and Tool.
Jesus, he's tall. Back up 6 inches, would you? Damn it.
Good to be here.
All right, here we go. That's better. Hey, what's
going
on?
There you go. This is actually my first time meeting you, so I don't know why. It's just the way things have worked. I've always been around and haven't come to bug you yet.
Well, here I am.
There you are. We got some new. You have some new exciting stuff that I'm pretty into. So what do you got going on here this year?
Well, you know, we got a couple of bushcraft knives that we brought to the show, and then our new ASK line, American Service Knife, which is kind of the new thing.
I love it.
You had a chance to lay eyes on it yet?
Yeah, I have. Let's check that out.
Cool. So, I mean, I know a lot of people are like, oh, it looks like that other company. They've been doing this for 130 years, and it's time for a little American competition. Now, people have tried making this product before, or something in this genre with this form factor. It's actually a really hard knife to make. Yeah, because it's a process knife, and it's hard to make things consistently, perfectly flat, all the same thickness. I mean, that's just true. It's really hard. And then we're not using a stamping method of making, so because of that, it's a little slower, but it allows us a lot of flexibility. Cool knife. I guess you want me to go up close to the camera and kind of show a little?
I'll do some close-ups and B-roll here, but
so talk some details about it.
Yeah, for sure. It's fairly modular, right? Premium steels. Yeah.
So right out of the gate, you know, one of the knocks on this kind of segment is that the blade is not, in most of these multi-tools, is not, I don't know, tough enough, resilient enough, significant enough to be your EDC blade, right? For the majority of things we do, besides like going camping or whatever, we wanted to make a blade that was more substantial. We want tools that are more substantial. We wanted it to have modularity. What I find is most people don't need 23 tools crammed into a little knife that engineers could gee-whiz together. They really want a pretty decent blade and a couple tools that are useful. So we kind of went on the whole thing about this is less is more, but it's what you want. So the unique thing about this, instead of it being riveted together, it's got hardware that holds it together, and you can open it up and modularly switch everything around. If you're, you always like a blade to open from one side, you can flip it around. You want 2 blades in a standard chassis, you can do that. You want 3 blades and get an extended chassis because you like different blades for different things, you can do that. If you have already a primary knife you carry all the time and just want 6 tools in it, you can open this up to a 3-channel knife and drop 6 tools in it. So it's got a ton of flexibility. Then you can make the colors on the outside any way you want. It's like it's the most American thing. You can make it the way you want. It's like a muscle car. So the color of our first model, which is the Jefferson, it's 70s Ford Grabber orange. And you can jack up the rear end, throw some big tires on it, put a stripe, put a little fin on the back, and got a boy race. Or you can leave it just the way it is. So let me open it up and kind of give people a little idea. So it's got hologram blade. Magna Cut is the choice of steel we did on everything. So it's got premium materials. We went with a high polish on just about everything because it, just doesn't less chance for corrosion. It operates smoother. It cleans off easier. All of that kind of thing. And then we went with, we're really doing flat, ruddy tools, the kind of stuff that you could actually use, and they'd be tough and usable in a pinch. And I went with a chisel because it's my favorite tool. It's the thing everybody always busts the tip of their knife trying to get a screw head up, or trying to get a little thing up, or trying to pry a little thing up that's caught. Now they've got a nice little chisel with a big bevel on it and a faux edge that they can sharpen if they want, nail puller. There's a lot to it. These are really complicated little tools. The liners are titanium. The hardware is titanium. It's 100% made in the US. There's some cool little Easter eggs on the inside for when you take it apart. Some little patriotic messages, some great coordinates, some little symbols. So it's kind of fun. We just had a great time with it. We're going to launch 4 models this year. This is the Jefferson, next will be the Washington, the third one will be the Ironsides, the fourth will be the Alcacel.
Awesome.
So just a great, really fun, all-American product, and we're jumping into a market space, a segment that is dominated by $50 trinket knives, and we want to, and nothing wrong with that. A great company, does amazing stuff, and when you try to make something like this, you gain respect for your opponent, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And so it's been a hell of a process and project, and we brought a lot of technology into the company to do it. It's just a bitchin' little product.
Well, what's cool is if I'm going to buy a premium product like that, I don't necessarily want to pay for a bunch of tools that I don't want, and I don't want to look through a list of 400 different models to find one with the tool layout that I like the best. So if I'm going to pay for it and I want to upgrade, if I can just pay for the things that I want and make it exactly how I want it, that's huge.
You know, the big thing is, it's interesting. Multi-tools almost never have a focus on the knife, because everything is a compromise.
Right.
We are making this for knife people and for guys who actually want to carry it as a knife.
Yep.
So it's got a fantastic little blade, and then some guys are Tonto, some guys are more clip, some guys are drop point, some guys are spear point, some guys are CX blades. So you can get any of those blades and put them in, they all work.
Nice.
So you can buy whatever model you want, you slap in the blade style you like, and then you're like, oh, that's a blade I like, that's ruddy, it's 1/8 inch thick, it's really friendly in my pocket, I don't even know it's there, it's soft, it doesn't scratch up all my stuff. If it accidentally ends up in the phone pocket, it's not going to tear up my phone. I mean, it's pretty cool. I mean, look, the concept of the major competitor in red is awesome, which is why they sell $3 billion a year worth. But the fact that it's not personalizable and the fact that it's not made in America and all of those things, that's what made me jump into it.
Well, you know, when I deployed with a fairly large knife, and I got made fun of, and everybody said, why don't you just carry one of those little red knives? And that's actually what most people did, was a pocket knife, whether issued or not, or something cheap like that. And as a young Joe, I was kind of disappointed in how rarely I used my overly large knife. And so everything has its place, but the more practical and versatile you make something, the more you're going to use it. And in my opinion, I'm willing to spend more money on something if I'm going to use it more often. And that's really cool.
You know, there's a, you see this in the watch world, and you see it other places in the car collecting world, where the levels of complexity and complications that are added to a thing make it more valuable. And we see that in that multi-tool market, where there's like more and more and more and more and more. And at some point, I'm a real back to basics guy. You know, I can kind of do everything. We're like, where's the scissors? I'm like, you got a razor sharp knife. Like, scissors are useful. They're also freaking hard to make. Scissors will take $2 million for me to get into the product. Like, that technology's not in the United States. No one's making scissors.
Wow.
They're really hard to make. There's almost nobody making them anymore.
Yeah.
They're made in Asia.
Yeah.
It's a black art. It's crazy. If you ever look at how to make scissors, they're freaking hard to make. They twist and they interact with weird Newtonian forces and everything. I mean, they're bizarre when you really get to it. You know, get them in front of a comparator and start measuring what's going on. They are really sophisticated.
Wow.
Yeah, and they used to be made and bent and fashioned by hand, and to do them in a mechanized way, wicked complicated. So almost everything you use this for, though, you can use a razor sharp knife.
Yeah, exactly.
So for that reason, I'm like, okay, well, I got the cutting covered, I got the prying covered, and I got the twisting covered.
There you go.
The cutting, prying, twisting gets you a lot.
Right.
Like you can do surgery.
Yeah.
So, you know, there's more tools coming, and there are more options coming, and there is that element of kind of cuckoo clock complexity to it that guys like, but not too much. Yeah, so we're having a ton of fun with it.
I love it, man. I love the product. You've got some other really wild stuff here as well. You want to bring some of that out?
Well, we've got a new survival knife. It's called the AIO Survival, AIO 2. When I originally started the company, I had a Marine come to me, typical Marine, piece of paper, and it had like fucking red crayon drawing on it of a knife. He's like, "Would you make this for me?" And I was like, I go, okay. So I drew up a really cool knife with all the little features that he wanted. And he goes, "It looks just like my drawing." I mean, it was like somebody, they give you a drawing of like Oscar the Grouch, and you build them Kelly LeBrock, you know, Weird Science, whatever it was, you know. So I get this crayon drawing from a Marine. It looked like he drew it like this, you know, and I gave him this knife. He's like, "Oh, that's exactly that." Okay, man. So I made that knife, and it did well for us, but as my styles evolved, and as the company's evolved, it started to look a little dated, so I really wanted to update it. And this is the knife we did. It's the AIO2. So 3/16 of an inch thick. This will be 3V steel. It's got some sharp, unsoftened edges around the back where guys like scraping wood with it without dulling their blade. They like scraping ferro rods and doing all that kind of thing, and a sharper edge really helps out with that. We've got some forward lashing holes for kind of securing this thing. If you're going to spear it up, there's some unsharpened lashing notches on the blade. People aren't used to seeing that. I've never seen anybody else do that, but it gets you 2/3 of the blade with leverage on it. If you don't want to use it, you can just lash here for some spear use. And then feel the air goes on the handle.
That's really, really nice.
So that's a CNC 3D surfaced handle. That's the parent mold for the molded handles we're doing for it. So we're doing molded handles with an applied finish and that titanium hardware. Fire starting notch for using a fire drill, and just you know, a little smasher on the end for doing some hammering. Just a real basic, tough.
Yeah. Well, when you start talking about bow drill divots and ferro rod edges and stuff like that, that's right up my alley. So that's my deal. It looks fantastic. It's a cool, very cool blade. And my camera doesn't like focusing on shiny things when faces are around, so we'll just do the close-up on that.
Yeah, and when you show this, it's got really cool.
I've never seen that hardware.
That's proprietary. It's our own custom tie hardware. It's brand new. So we're starting to put this on all of our fixed blades. So it's just really high-end custom hardware.
Yeah, yeah, that's legit, man.
Well, that's kind of really our newest stuff. When you look at our ASK line, we've got lots of fun options for it. Not only can people buy the tools and swap the tools out and the blades out, they can also, you know, do the navy blue or bubblegum pink or American flag scales. There's just a ton of versatility. So I've really been trying to think about I like making cool stuff for me, and I like seeing what the market's up to and seeing where I can kind of plug into the marketplace. And I like to go and not step on anybody's toes.
Right, right. Well, it looks phenomenal. I'm glad that I got to meet you here at BladeShow. Thank you for having me. So, where can people find you? Because I am under the understanding that you've started doing some of your own marketing, social media, something like that?
Well, I don't do social media anymore. I'm completely off the internet. So the only place you can find anything about ASK knives, we have 3 launch partners. DLT Trading, Blade HQ, Smoky Mountain Knife Works. They'll be the 3 first resellers in the United States. We'll have them. They're part of our phase 1 launch of the product. You can also go to ASK Knife or ASKknives.com, and you can order one there, hop in line and get one directly from us. I don't recommend one relationship over the other. If you have a great relationship with DLT or Blade HQ or Smoky Mountain, of course use them. If you want to find out more about me and what I do, you can go to iTunes, Spotify, or Rumble. Just search The Greg Medford Show. I do a political podcast there. I have notable national and state politicians from around the country on my show. I also have veterans with interesting stories, entrepreneurs with interesting stories, just interesting Americans, a lot of politics.
Heck yeah. Well, I love that, and I'm right there with you, because a lot of people know me as a knife channel. Didn't mean to start out that way, but it's kind of turned into a knife, gun, and politics channel. Lately, it's been mostly politics with the current situation. So,
yeah, I mean, we're sitting here, you're a patriot, you're a veteran, you're sitting here watching the toilet being flushed on our country. You know, they say they can't do anything about it. I'm a hillbilly from Arizona, and in 30 days I could fix 90% of what's wrong with this country, and nobody would freak out about it.
Yeah. Well, it'd just be nice if they'd stop funding it. I think that would be the step 1. Stop making it happen. Stop paying for it.
Paying for what?
societal manipulation. I don't know, just the government. So just real quick, you know, I did a little bit of psyop stuff when I was in the military. I actually just worked with them, you know, but there is manipulation that goes on. It comes from the top. And you just follow the money, follow whatever, and
it's two things. It's money, and then it's suppression. And the way they've suppressed us is they've sold us all on a falsehood.
Yep.
So they call it, you know how they silence us? Racism.
Yep.
It doesn't matter if you say, oh, I don't like what China's doing. They're bad players. Oh, you're racist.
Right.
Okay. I don't like what's going on in the inner cities. I mean, go to an inner city in this country run by Democrats, and there are junkies, feces, and needles everywhere.
Yeah, right.
And I don't like saying, oh, you're a racist against poor people. No, I'm not.
Right.
Like, this is not working. This is wrong.
Right.
So you call, if you try to speak truth to power in this country, they subvert you, they delete you, they disappear you, and they've switched our lives to digital, so now they don't even need to kill us.
Exactly.
They don't even need to kill you. They just you know, they call it being disappeared in China.
Yep.
They don't need to disappear us. They just delete us.
Yep. Yep. I'm actually dealing with that right now. So, you know, and how many times have I been banned on Facebook, which I'm currently permanently banned from, for saying Paki trash when someone starts trying to sell Pakistani freaking bullcrap Damascus. I've said, get that Paki crap out of here. Boom. Banned for a month for racism. What? It's made in Pakistan. It's Paki crap.
That's right. And I was, I basically just had enough with everybody because some Turkish hack and stole our Instagram. Now here's what's funny. I'm on an airplane like 2 weeks after it happened. It's a kind of weird airline with, it's like little airplanes and a little more expensive tickets, and you kind of do your own. It's kind of quiet. You could like carry a pistol on.
That's what was my next question. Yeah.
And I was sitting around with, I mean, I'm the ding dong of the group. It's a bunch of ballers, and we were all talking, and everybody had one of their company's social media accounts stolen in the last month. It was bizarre. Like I was talking on the cell phone. I got off. The guy leans over, and I googled the dude. He's a fucking huge following. I'm like 10 million followers, right? Guy's in hair care products. So we start talking, and then this lady leans in to have her real estate company. I mean, it was a bunch of ballers, and everybody had their site stolen. I think Instagram was kicking information out the back door, and they were shaking people down for Bitcoin.
Yep.
Because I think it's a failing platform. And that guy, Mark Zuckerberg, he is the evil alien of the modern era.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the sooner he's disappeared, the better.
I agree. When you find some, never mind.
Yeah.
I appreciate having you. I appreciate you having me. It's been fantastic. I look forward to these knives. They look great, and I hope that you have a great rest of the show. And I'll see you around.
All right, thanks, man. Nice meeting you.
Absolutely.
I'm out.